shower is completed. That's not okay.
Oh, I just saw the gnat again.
That's not okay, in my opinion. Oh! I've ordered takeout. Yes, I have. I'm using a literal butter knife right now.
Trying my first bite of food. It dribbled on me a little bit.
One day I will be a plus size influencer who has died. That is crazy.
This video is so raw, you guys.
Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Hens, and I'm here with Alexis, Amberlynn's ex-bestie. And thank you for giving my video a view, and hopefully you'll like and subscribe if you're not already. And if you are, hopefully you'll like and comment as well. And let's get into, before we get into this video, I have a little thing that I prepared, a little list of the reasons why my critiques of Alexis are the way they are. And these are all things based on what she's done and the content that she's provided us, and the things that she said. Let's get into this. Watched ALR since 2018, 2 times longer than me. So like, she knew all this before she got into any kind of a friendship or relationship with Amber, or tried to pursue it like online after, according to her. Number 2, knew how Amber treated Beck and Wifey, but still had romantic and friend interest in Amberlynn. Thinks she's worth more than $100 to ALR, but would have likely known Becky only got $200. Is willing to allude to holding dangerous information over people with the expectation that they do what she wants. Erica, Tommy, Amber, her own ex, called for her ex to be doxxed and then deleted the video where she said to avoid criticism when the mother and the ex were receiving death threats, according to Alexis. And then claims to be done with Amber, yet is constantly unblocking her to send messages like, "I miss you, Pookie." Purposefully leaves out some context and then says, "Well, you know Amber's like that," without actually providing an example of said behavior in the situation she's talking about. Just hoping that we'll go along with her because that's what we assume. Tiny Blue Anthropologist also noticed some of the same behavior, and then was going to take off from work probably a week to drive Amber from Kentucky to Oklahoma, despite never having met her in real life. The constant reaffirmation that Alexis is only turning on Amber now because Alexis feels she's having something taken away from her. The proximity she could have had to Amber is being taken by Tommy. And then Alexis herself has said that she and Amber bonded over their shared diagnoses, which means it's not unreasonable to recognize their toxic behaviors that they both have, as it is happening in front of us. Just because she's talking about Amber doesn't mean she's not doing those same things that we criticized Amber for. And I'm not going to let her off for that. You have to listen to what she's saying as well as how she's saying it and her motivation. All of these things matter when she's monetizing her channel off of the drama she's trying to brew. For real. We have to be serious about that. Ignoring toxic signs of behavior is what allowed Amber to get so big on her channel. Is that so many people watched her for the mess, but ignored the fact that she was actively abusing her partners. And only now, in hindsight, are recognizing it. Alexis is a monetized channel right now, so it's free to criticize her. It's fair use, just like with Amber. And then any channel that I discuss, I am exactly as serious as this if I know anything about them or the people that they associate with. Alexis is 6 years deep into Amber and watched everything that happened within that, and then participated within at least the last year. So she is an active participant in all of this and not free from criticism just because she decides to tell you guys what you want to hear. Let's get into the video.
Guys, it's
Hello.
Alexis, and I
I
want to
know.
start off this video by saying thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I've had a lot going on in my personal life, not relating to
Whatever.
Amberlynn, and I've also been working a lot, but I keep getting comment after comment after comment on my TikTok saying, when's the next video? And I'm like, okay, I know, hold on.
You're the one who said you were going to release it. So, like, you don't need to set up people's expectation. Just, like, put it out. And then if you put something up again, you said that it wasn't going to be an ongoing thing at first. And then you started saying, oh, yeah, of course you're going to keep posting on your channel. And then you want to do your own vlogs and all this shit. Like, let's be for real. You need to get it together. Like, either commit or not.
On, please. But the wait is over.
We were not bated
So
breath.
today I am going to be answering some repeat questions that I haven't answered yet, but I'm also going to be responding to a couple things that Amberlynn said in her last live stream. So from the wise words of our favorite Gorl, shit's about to go down, wear a seatbelt and a helmet, light up a blunt because it's about to get crazy.
Alexis doesn't bring receipts.
Okay guys, so apparently I don't bring receipts, so I feel like I'm gonna have to really step it up in this one.
I mean, putting a picture of her like this doesn't really do anything for your argument. It's something stupid. Like, it's not something that makes me think less of Amber for. Like, what are you doing?
Also, what are you talking about? And if this is the way that we're supposed to show receipts around here, I guess I have been doing it all wrong.
Oh, that's literally the screenshot I used in my thumbnail. Huh.
Also, just regarding that specific screenshot, I just want to say that the Venmo transaction, the alleged Venmo transaction, was a Christmas gift. Also, who the fuck cares about what I'm spending it on? I also spent my parents' Christmas gift on bills too. I'm sorry that.
I mean, good for you that you have parents that will give you money. Bad for you that you're literally not working because you're on the phone with Amber 8 hours a day. How about you hang up on her and you fucking get a job?
Some of us have to actually go outside of our homes and can't just show up to work once a week drunk and make thousands of dollars. Okay, I'm sorry that.
That's literally all of Gorlworld. You're not special, girl. You're complaining about something that most of Gorlworld cannot relate to. Most of us have jobs, and we keep it down, and we get up, and we even interact with the Amberverse. So, Alexis, get it together. You're not special.
That is not the reality for me and a lot of other people.
I only drink once a week. It's part of my job now. They're buzzballs, by the way.
Anyways, next.
So I did speak to someone who was 20. I'm gonna downright say it. And like her lying that like I didn't know Abby, like her saying that I knew Abby's 20, a lie.
Okay, so you guys have been telling me I need to read my screenshots out loud, so I'm gonna start doing that.
No, we have not. Your voice is annoying. No offense. I know my voice is not the most appealing. Abby is talking about when I come visit her. LMAO. How many bitches are you meeting? She sounds so excited. Ha 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 ha. Why am I, your best friend, not being visited? See, it's always about she has to turn it around on herself. Like, why do you need to be visited? I thought you were happy with your relationship. But some Bible thumping 20-year-old is jealous. I'm blocking you and your middle part. That's just mean. Like, you don't have to make fun of her appearance because you're mad that she won't spend money to come visit you.
Anyways, the first thing, enough. I don't remember where Abby lives, but it is not in a state close to Amberlynn. But anyways, you would not fly to some
You're not close to Amberlynn either.
random state if you weren't romantically interested in seeing someone. Because
Duh! What is so difficult about that to understand? Like, why are you such a jealous, like, petty girl? What are you talking about? Grow up.
I was your supposed
You're almost
best
30. Get it together.
friend and for over a year, and the only time you ever tried to see me was when you needed a ride to Oklahoma and when you were sending me explicit videos trying to talk me out of my draws over the internet. And
Girly pop, you were willing to do it. You don't get to complain now after you showed us saying, oh yeah, I'll totally take off work for you. I'll totally do it. I'll drop everything in my life for you. That's you, Alexis. You're the one participating in her bullshit. If you do that, you're the problem. You are the fuel to her fucking engine. Hello? Hello?
and with Cookiegate and other things that I won't re-mention.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. She engages with Amber and then complains about what Amber does. You don't get to do that. If you want to complain about it, stop engaging with her.
Because I think you thought that I would be like,
My pants will be off in 2.2 seconds.
but then you realized that I wasn't.
And then these little snide clips are not helping her. Like, your argument being purely emotional makes you look like a scorned lover and friend, honestly. And it's embarrassing.
Just going to be
You're
another one of
almost
your
30.
squirrels. So then you lost interest in seeing me again. I also just want to mention that nowhere in this text message or this entire conversation did Amberlynn ever refute the fact that Abby was 20, even though I literally said that she was.
We were solely just friends.
Right. And I'm the Easter Bunny. So, say we're living in a fantasy world and you knew or thought that Abby really was 25. Don't you think that's still quite the age gap?
Okay, that's like
She said that she did. Like,
a 6-year difference.
Right. 6 years. Anyways.
we know we did the math already, Alexis. You're late. But she's leaving out the context of what Amber said. Amber said, yes, I thought that was young too, even 25, that I had asked my mom about it. Like, even if you don't believe everything she says, at least she said that. And it seemed like it was maybe even a passing conversation she had with her mom about age gap, like 25 versus her age. And like, maybe she brought up her maturity level. But like, honestly, leaving out the context is what I said too. Is like, you want everybody to go along with what you're saying because as if like she's just dumb or playing dumb about the age gap, and then but leaving out that additional context. It's messy.
This topic is not that important, but I did want to address that. So the first question is, do you have any
Messy.
justice for Beck coming? I'm extremely curious on what has happened to Beck during their relationship. So if you haven't seen this video yet, and some of you may not,
You know, you watched it, and then you were besties with Amber afterwards. So you've heard stories about all of her exes, just like you said. She's talked shit on all of her exes, and you were friends following the summer reveal by Destiny and all that shit. And you still wanted to become friends with her after she talked shit about Destiny's family. She literally brought up dirt, quote unquote, on Destiny's family and then claimed, oh, well, I didn't know she was live. You still were going to blackmail her with it. So, and then Alexis is fine with that. You guys realize she is aware of all of this.
have, because it was released today, August 16th, I would highly suggest watching this video if you have any further questions about Beck and her relationship with Amber. Also, this is on
There.
Karina Kaboom's channel.
For somebody who demanded their ex-partner to be addressed by their proper pronouns, you sure didn't respect Beck's.
And there wasn't
Did
a
you,
whole
Alexis?
lot of questions on this video.
Weird.
But this was
almost like it doesn't matter to you if it's not about you somehow. Almost like that, huh?
also just part 1, and I'm assuming Karina will release the other part or parts either tomorrow or later this weekend.
That's one of the things that Alexis was saying that I was like saying bad things about. Literally, no.
So this question asks, did Amber say anything to you about Beck's new partner? So Amberlynn said she didn't know anything about Beck's new partner when I mentioned it to her, but then she asked to see the post, and I had made a comment like, "Aw, Becky looks so good, and their partner is like really hot." And needless to say, she did not appreciate that comment, but she didn't speak on either of them in that very moment.
Where?
No, seriously. Where? Where did I say you had a whole bunch of bad things to say about them? So the second question that I want to address is, ever since you turned, do you get scared when you see an Oklahoma license plate? Amber might be following you. And this question is in reference to,
I don't like the little clips she's doing. Like I've said, the sound effects and clips kill it for me. It makes
There
it
was
not
a
enjoyable.
Pennsylvania license plate in front of Amberlynn's apartment, and she thought it was Jordy. No, never happened. Never happened a day in my life. Secondly, Alexis, you know what? Let me just do it for you. Alexis literally paid to find out all of Jordy's information. I'm telling you.
Okay, so first of all, you were terrified that you were being stalked by Jordy or someone that Jordy paid. And that is why you asked me to find the information about him.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That is an admission. That is an admission out of Alexis's mouth. Stop right there, everybody. Alexis just said, I looked up the information because you asked me. Just because she asked you didn't mean you had to do it. Didn't mean you had to send it to her. Whatever you found out didn't mean you had to keep digging. You did that, Alexis. And anybody who pretends like she didn't do that is really seriously in need of a reality check.
Him so you could reach out to him and ask him. Secondly, I never paid for anything. Everything that I found online was public phone book.
It doesn't matter. You looked up information about his family. His family, Alexis? Alexis? His family? Even him. Looking up his phone number, texting him. You texted him, apparently. Let's see if she addresses that part.
Websites. And when we had this conversation, we were on the phone. I already looked for text messages. And I do have the screenshots of what I sent her, but I don't want to show the screenshots to show what website that I found this information on because I don't want to out Jordy and his public information.
Girl, you are still so far up a creek without a fucking paddle.
Public information.
You did it. You dug into it. Why did you look it up for her? Why did you keep digging to find out information about his family? You had to verify who his family was because you can't just trust that it's somebody. Like, how would you know his family based on public records that is not like somehow paid? Maybe you're on ancestry.com or something, but you would already be paying. Like, I don't understand what you're talking about.
By the way, I did not and would not pay for his information. More importantly, I've already talked to Jordy about this, so whatever. But do you know who was there to witness this conversation?
Well, Jordy seemed uncomfortable at the time that he was watching Amber say this. He seemed kind of uncomfortable.
Jade was. So you better hope that she continues to want to stay behind closed doors when it comes to you, because I'm sure that if she didn't, she would love to confirm.
Psycho laugh.
Everything that I'm saying.
It's literally Amber's drunk psycho laugh, but not drunk.
The allegation that you hit her, that you refuse to speak about. You'll talk about other things relating to Jade, but you refuse to touch on the subject where you hit her. So that's really, 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 really interesting, Amberlynn. Also, I just want to add that I don't owe Jade anything. She told you to not talk about her. She never told me to not talk about her. So
girl, she left you just like she left Amber. That's what I said, and I meant it. The reason she hasn't reached out to you since she broke up with Amber is because she doesn't want to talk to you. You're not some special snowflake that she wants to see fall from the sky into her life because you're just that great. No.
So if you're gonna talk about her, you might as well touch on the subject where you technically committed domestic violence. But knowing you're
now she's changing the script. Alexis in her video before said, well, the fact that Jade pushed her, and I don't know if everything was all like domestic violence and everything, and it was all mutual. Now she's saying it like Amber was the sole perpetrator. You see? You see what I mean?
You're just gonna...
She's the one who brought up the allegations in the first place, in a certain context, and now she's changing the context herself. Like, Alexis is the one orchestrating that part. Like, this is crazy, you guys.
Go ahead and keep this one under the rug.
Fuck.
So this next question is, wait, so are you and her friends again? Absolutely no, we're not friends again.
You just like talking to her and interacting with her and getting the attention for interacting with her. That's why you keep unblocking her and messaging her. I've already said this. A mature person will not unblock somebody just to send them a petty text. That's why I said in the thumbnail of this video, it's toxic friend behavior to literally send a message saying, I miss you, Pookie. And then the next message you send them with when they have not responded is, oh, don't cry in the club. Like, girl, you're literally stealing Jordy's joke about you. His joke was about you having money to go party and cry in the club, but not to pay your bills. So get it straight.
And I will never be friends with her again, especially if she is still with
Like,
Emily.
for real.
That's a
Like,
hard no.
how can you be so clueless that about what Jordy's joke really was addressing? It wasn't, oh, you're just in the club crying, like, which is already sad. It's literally that you're doing that, but you're not paying your bills. It's baffling that you want to turn that joke around on Amber.
Oh, for me, dog. That
She
is my
can
boundary.
she can pay her bills.
I am not budging. I do not care. Which is why I said
She's
in one of
not
my
pressed for money like you.
videos,
And
Amberlynn,
I don't say
not
that to be a hater. I mean, like, maybe just pay more attention to your real life and your work.
move to Wisconsin if you're not sure that Emily is not going to screw you over. Because I'm not going to come pick you up and save you. I'm not. I'm simply not. Now, I know in her life
She's just repeating herself at this time. She's said this before multiple times.
She had answered a question saying that she missed me.
Do I miss Alexis? Yeah. I bet Alexis misses you. Yeah.
So after I saw this,
Yeah.
I did unblock her and I did
Yeah.
text her.
Because you
And-
like interacting with her, like I freaking said. You like the attention, just like Amber likes any attention she can get. You like any attention you can get. Because you guys are similar. Just like you both have said. You're so similar. You have even the same diagnoses and you bonded over it.
And here's what I said. Because, like, I do.
This whole video is just confirming everything that I said at the beginning about her.
do miss her. But I also can miss someone and still not agree with what they're doing and with what they're saying and think that they're not a good friend to me. So then after I texted her, it immediately turned into her crying.
This is the text message I was talking about. Thank you so much, Alexis, for providing this, since I got it from your video. Miss you too, Pookie. Stop crying in the club, Ambi, because she started crying because she saw the message that Alexis sent her. Like, Alexis, you sent her the message and it made her cry, and now you're making fun of her for crying about it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're just as bad as her. That's some fucked up shit. That you would send the message to her because you were supposedly missing her, and then you send the thing saying, stop crying, which is a joke on you that you don't get because you're thick like Amber, just not body-wise. And then, oh my god. Yeah, and then you want to make fun of her in your video for it. God damn. That is like levels of twisted, you know?
But, like, if you loved me and valued me as much as you proclaim that you do, why wouldn't you just do everything that you could to keep me around when you had me around? Like,
Girl, you are a psychopath. Why wouldn't you just give up Tommy for me? Why?
I do feel bad that she's sad. I do feel bad that she feels like I betrayed her.
God.
I do experience sad emotions.
This is literally Amber's inner monologue of everything. It's like Alexis is Amber's inner monologue. I just think that I deserve what I want because I want it. And you're denying it to me, so I'm going to do whatever I want to get it. Please, Pookie. Please. And then if you don't give what they want, then it's twisted around on you. Right?
Emotions when it comes to Amberlynn. I'm not just some heart.
This is not my first rodeo with manipulators. I've known multiple and groups of them. And when you interact with them, you can't be like cushy. They will take any leeway you give them. And that's how Amber got this big as a channel. Like, everybody should have canceled her during the Crystal or Destiny eras. And yet, y'all kept watching. I came in at the end of the Beck era when she was breaking up with Amber's dumbass. And I could tell immediately that Amber was an abuser because literally she moved wifey in while Beck was there without any fucking conversation about it. While Beck was out with her family quarantining during COVID. Be so fucking for real, you guys. Be so reals. Like, Alexis saw all that and wanted to be friends with Amber. And wanted to date Amber.
Heartless that doesn't care.
It fucking triggers the shit out of me. I'm
like a lot
so
of people think
sorry
that.
if that's offensive to you guys, that I can see all the flaws that you want to gloss over because she's talking shit about Amber. But guess what? Amber can be a bad person, and Alexis can be a bad person. I could even be a bad person. Everybody could be a bad person in their own way. Guess what? As long as you're not doing something to hurt people, then it doesn't matter. Alexis, all of this is just to make money. And like, yes, we enjoy some of the drama of it, but that doesn't mean that she's not a bad person aside from the stuff you want to hear. That is the important part to remember.
I do care. But there's also a lot of things that she says and does, whether it's to me or to other people, that I'm not okay with. And I haven't been okay with. And a lot of people in my comments are like, well, you were friends with her up until this. You were friends with her up until Tommy.
You watched her before that, too. You watched her from 2018 out of your own fucking mouth. That's the part. She's leaving that context out. You wouldn't know that because she doesn't want to repeat that part for you guys. Because if you know that, then you know that she watched what happened to Beck, and then you know that she knows what happened to Beck because Beck just came forward. We all know.
Yes, but you guys act like I wasn't saying things behind closed doors. You guys have
How would we know? You haven't shown those text messages.
no idea what we talked about. Me and her were on the phone for 5, 6, 7 hours a day. Like,
Yeah,
we
because
talked
you're fucking deadbeat. Get a job.
about a lot. And when that whole thing with Casey came up, the Mr. Snowball or Snowflake or whatever, when that
You know
all-
exactly who the fuck he is. Don't even fucking play. Everybody knows who Mr. Snowflake is. I knew who he was before I ever watched a fucking video.
when that whole thing came up, I felt so bad for her, but at the same time, I was like, dude, but like, you did these things. And yes, I did publicly defend her quite a lot, but you have no idea.
This is the problem I have with her. She was not only Amber's like attack dog for all intents and purposes, she was also personally having vendettas against people, against channels. Like, I couldn't react to her first video through my account because she had me blocked since before she created a YouTube reaction channel. Hello? Amber has never had me blocked, which means Alexis decided to do it herself. And then after I made my first reaction video anyways, she unblocked me. Magically. Because I was not too critical of her, I guess, for her taste in that first video. Because, for real, most of the stuff she said was real tea in that video. It wasn't this personal drama, this pettiness, this little shit that doesn't actually matter to anyone. That was true tea. This is not tea. This is personal BS that she's hung up on.
What I said to her when there wasn't a camera in my face or her face, okay? And just because you're friends with somebody,
So that's a petty angle that I can come from for anybody who has questions on my critiques.
it doesn't mean you automatically condone and accept everything that comes with them. And speaking of things that I don't agree with, this is another prime example of me calling her out, not publicly, privately, and her still being absolutely delusional. So she says, I'm in love with someone who genuinely loves me for me. And I said, you're delusional. And she said, why can't you ever just be happy for me? She's never ever done anything to hurt me. She's only made me feel safe and loved. Which is absolutely not true. Do you know how many hours
Wow, way to tell us what she does. You just doxed her a little bit. Thank you, Alexis, because I knew that Tommy was a nurse. I didn't know what her specialty was. So thank you, Alexis, for breaking that little bit of secrecy. Really, really, Alexis. I don't want to hurt her daughter's ability to stay safe. I'm just going to give away a key point that people use to pinpoint what her mom does, you know? I'm not endangering anyone. I'm just releasing the information that I feel like releasing at the time because it serves my purpose, just like Amber would do. Hello?
I had to sit on the phone with this girl because she didn't want to be alone, because Tommy was being absolutely awful to her, ignoring her, telling
You didn't have to. You chose to. You didn't have to. You chose to. Please understand the meaning of words.
her she doesn't want to talk to her, telling her she misses her ex, who has passed away. And in the meantime, responding to people and talking poorly about Amberlynn to these random people on Instagram. And you have the balls to sit here and tell people she, and me including, she is so amazing and she's never done anything to hurt you. You are a liar.
Who said that she's amazing? Have you seen any of my Amberlynn videos? And then for anybody that wants to say I'm more biased against Alexis, I have less to work with Alexis, so I'm much more sharp with my critique. I know the shades of gray with Amber. I know how to read her BS. I can understand the context and the subtext Amberlynn presents herself in. I only have Alexis's words and her content to judge her by. And calling for your ex to be doxxed because you're angry kind of tells me the kind of person you are. And people like to gloss over that too. Just because she deleted the video doesn't mean it didn't happen. Doesn't mean that her partner's mother didn't get death threats, according to Alexis. Huh. It's almost like there's consequences for your actions, like being friends with Amber for a year after watching her for 5 years. Imagine
Anyways,
that.
So I follow that up with, because she's lied to you and is mean to you and gaslights you. She's literally a psych nurse. She can do it better than anyone. She preys on you because you're vulnerable. And then I said, you are a liar.
And yet you said that Amber was love bombing Tommy too. Interesting how that works.
And then she proceeds to say, wow, we will never see eye to eye on this. I love you, but you're hurting me. I said, you cry about her every single day. Why are you being so blind right now? And she said, I've only ever cried because she was such in a low mental health space. This has never happened before she was doxxed, and you literally know.
Girl, you need grippy socks. You said, I'll literally bite you? What is wrong with you?
that. And I said, that's not true. And she said, yes, it is. And then I said, she lied about how much she knew about you and was watching reaction channels. It happened right in my face on FaceTime.
Just because you put it in text doesn't mean it happened. She didn't admit it here. Amberlynn didn't acknowledge this. So technically, this is still just you putting it in text because you know that you're going to use this. Like, or because you know that you want to seem reasonable. Like, you can say, it happened right on my face, in my face on FaceTime. You admitted it to me when we talked about it privately. But then if Amber doesn't acknowledge this part, then technically it's still just she said. She has to say yes or no. Just like Alexis has to say yes or no to the stuff Amberlynn accuses her of, you know?
You admitted it when we talked about it privately, when you asked why I didn't like her. Not once did she ever refute anything that I was saying. Not once in this entire conversation.
She didn't acknowledge it. That's the point. She didn't refute or acknowledge. That's the problem. We don't have her word on it.
Did she say, no, that never happened? And then she immediately started doing what she does best and started deflecting and said, Alexis, you've genuinely hurt me. And I was like, you haven't hurt me. Every time you get a new girlfriend, I'm on the back burner. Unless her and that.
You're the one who hangs on because you want to date her. You want her attention and you want the attention of the people that watch her. It's clear as day and it's obvious that you want the money for it too. And hey, you're getting the money. Good for you. But if you don't have any more than this to bring up, this petty drama between the two of you, this literally is meaningless. It doesn't do anything for us. It's just you being mad.
That girlfriend aren't doing well, and then she's flirting with me, and then she likes me again.
It doesn't seem like she's actually worked on her emotions as much as she thinks she has.
Guys genuinely have no idea how much this woman has hurt me. And you can think I'm an awful person, that's fine. But you will never know the full story, and you will never know the things that I had to go through.
Girl, isn't that exactly what Amber would say verbatim? You guys just don't know the full story. There's details that would totally change how you feel about it. You guys just don't know the truth about Tommy. You just don't know. Girl, it's literally the same fucking shit in a different fucking package.
For her. She did not love me. She did
just
not
like
care
I
about
fucking
me.
said.
I was always a second option. Always.
Oh, I was second. Oh, she didn't want me enough. Oh. Then move on from the person that you've never fucking met in real life. Hit the block button and never look back. Delete all of her contact information from your life. Hello. It's simple. If you're mature, it's simple. If you're a right-minded adult, if you're not obsessed and attached.
Second option, and she never prioritized me
It's
the way
crazy.
that I prioritized her, and I will stand on that forever. And you can sit there and say,
you guys can say that she's friends with her for a year. She never met her in real life. Alexis was literally abandoning her real life for 5 to 8 hours a day to talk to Amber because she didn't want to be in her real life. Let's be real. Sitting on the phone with Amber for that long every day is you not wanting to participate in whatever is going on in your real life. You are seeking out some fantasy land, especially since you never made any effort to go visit her. Why does she have to come visit you? You know she's not able. Why didn't you go, Alexis? Huh?
Say that I'm bitter and say this and say that. Maybe I am. Maybe I am bitter because I did so much and I went through so much.
I don't have time for this, Tears. Like, this is literally Amberlynn. If you listen to how and what she's saying, it's literally exactly what Amberlynn has done to her audience every time that she finds like that she's being held accountable for anything. But this case is just that Amberlynn is disagreeing with her. So she's using the same tactics with us to be on her side and then bully Amber into agreeing with her, to dumping Tommy and making Alexis her number one bottom bitch.
And
honestly, that's what her whole complaint is that she's number 2. Oh my god. Yes, you're number 2 in her fucking life. Get a fucking grip.
What? This is also why
Oh
it takes
my
me
god.
so long to make
this
these
is
videos.
fucking triggering me. Like, who the fuck are you to demand that you're number 1 in Amber's life over her girlfriend? Even if she's a shitty fucking girlfriend, you will never be her number 1 if you're not that girl. What are you talking about? You know that. We know that. That's how most people are when they get into a relationship. They will literally put everybody else behind that partner to an extent. Like, especially the older the relationship grows, you know? It's fucking wild that Alexis doesn't understand this. And like, as a friend, you adapt and you get used to it. And if the level of separation is too much, then that's when you grow apart. And you literally say, as the mature person, it's been fun being friends, but I don't think this is really adding anything for either of us. So we're going to move on separately. That's how that goes.
Not only because I'm actually editing, unlike somebody, but this is also very emotionally toiling for me, okay? And I realize nobody said I had to take this all to YouTube, but I wanted to. I wanted to.
Yeah, you wanted to because you knew you would make money on it and you wanted that money. And you wanted the attention, just like Amber. That's literally why Amber started her channel. She wanted the attention for losing weight and ended up having a weight gain channel.
Can't just sit here and hurt people and hurt all of her girlfriends and hurt all of her friends and not have a single person stand up and say something. And if I've taught her anything in this entire relationship is that maybe she should think.
If I've taught her anything, my goodness, aren't you just conceited?
Before she speaks, and maybe she should see people for their actual value and not because they're attractive or not because of what they can do for her. Maybe Amberlynn should actually love the people that.
If I've taught her anything, not if the situation has taught anything. Like, it's very interesting that she phrased it that way. And like I said, when she makes her argument, it's always about how it relates back to Alexis. It's just like Amber. It's just like her.
Love her. And I did love her a lot. A lot. Sometimes more than.
I loved this person that I've never met. This person that I abandon 8 hours of my life every day for. I loved her.
Anyone or anything else in my life. But I am realizing now I was only just another character in her fucked up little show. She didn't care.
Bro, this is literally... Is she reading from like one of Amberlynn's transcripts on one of her videos? Because this literally sounds like something Amber said.
When I got doxxed and I had to leave my job,
fucking swear.
she didn't care when girlfriends or potential love interests broke up with me because of her. She didn't care when I was
That's your problem. If people won't date you because of Amber, then you need to break up with Amber. But you don't want to. You love it.
struggling, whether that was emotionally or financially or mentally. It was always only about her. And if it wasn't about her, she sure as made it about her.
I will say it. I had a crush on Alexis off and on throughout our whole friendship. And I've always been very upfront with that. But I'm able to like admit it.
I'm sorry, but like, where and when did I ever say that I didn't like you back? I have quite literally shown screenshots in previous videos.
Well, I mean, you were the one who cut it off, so yeah. You weren't interested, right? Right? Why are you so butthurt? Why are you so emotional? Hmm? Hmm? Hmm?
that stated that I was interested in pursuing something with you. And you claim that I'm downplaying all of this. How? Yes, I did say Cookiegate was unsolicited. Yes, it was, because the entire conversation that we were having when you were screen sharing your entire conversation with Erica to try to prove to me that you weren't talking about me was also
I've already said this. She didn't have to watch the video that Amber sent. As soon as she got the video, she could have said, Amber, I'm not watching it. Let's move on. But she didn't. But she did not.
unsolicited. I didn't ask for that. You did that on your
Everybody in this situation is an adult. Let me remind everybody. Let me remind everybody watching. Everyone in this situation is an adult. Everybody has free will in this situation. No one is physically in front of each other holding a gun to the head. Let's be real. There is no stakes in any of this. And yet, this is how they're acting. They're like in middle school, as if you're going to see the person the very next day, and they've never met each other ever in their life, and probably will never, and probably never plan to. Like, really, let's be so freaking for real. I'm tired of like being so like I've been restrained sometimes in talking about this just because like it's insane the level of delusion that we're dealing with, and then we're so outside of the level of normal or average that all of this behavior is occurring in. It's so unreal that people think that like we're supposed to take any of this seriously. This is all from a level of personal delusion and personal petty grossness. Ugh. It's like everybody wants, or not everybody, Amber and Alexis, they're both after the same thing. They both want attention primarily. They both want everybody in the audience to be on their side. That is the primary interest of them. Erica and whatever her wife's name is, they literally just wanted the fucking attention and humiliation. They thought they would make it big in Gorlworld and found out otherwise because everybody could see that nothing that they were interested in talking about was remotely real or good. Like after the first time they came on and exposed Amber. But other than that, like they had nothing. Alexis ran out of her stuff or is drip feeding it to us at this point. And honestly, ugh, this is exhausting, especially with the whole fact that Amber doesn't want to fucking do any videos. She just wants to do live streams, like I said. I predicted she was going to quit doing videos and she was going to do live streams because of the easy money. Because she's still getting to hang out with Tommy. She's doing exactly what Alexis complains she's not getting to do. Notice that? Notice how Amber is doing the... She just replaced Alexis with her on the phone. And yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but at the same time, you knew that's how Amber is. You've seen it firsthand. And yet, you thought you were different. You thought you were special, and you thought you were irreplaceable. And then you got replaced, and you're mad about it. It's very fucking... At the end of the day, it's just petty.
your own volition. So you can stop telling people that I'm trying to downplay what was going on between us. I'm not. If anybody is trying to downplay what was going on between us or our friendship in general, that's you. And the only reason why we didn't date, you can tell everybody it was a gut feeling, but you know that it's because I wouldn't let you push me around. Not only push me around, but have me be a yes man.
No, you said it's because... You literally said it was just because you guys were so similar. You didn't want to be together. Like, I believe that's literally what Alexis said.
To everything that you say and do. I have never been that kind of a person, and I will never be that person. And I knew that you knew that.
I mean, to be fair, that is how Amber is. I've said it. She's domineering and will not just let anybody do whatever, but she wants to be seen as this dainty femme little girl while controlling everything. That's Amber. She's literally the girl from Orphan.
Also knew how sneaky and snaky and slimy you were in relationships. And why would I subject myself to...
And yet you were interested in being her friend after. Can somebody explain that to me? Can you make that make sense to me? that I'm supposed to now feel bad for her because she knew that she was snaky and slimy in relationships, but still wanted to be friends with her and meet her in real life and meet her mother and all that shit. That's what Alexis wants. That's what she's claimed. She thought it was the friendship of a lifetime, a golden opportunity in terms of like social stuff, not necessarily money.
To that kind of behavior. Anyways, thanks for listening to me getting mad and sad and crying and talking about Amberlynn once again.
No worries. I got mad too.
Every single day, I'm still receiving an overwhelming amount of support. And I just wanted to thank you guys
Yeah.
once again, because without you guys and your support, I really don't know how I would be okay. If there's any
Oh, sounds like you need to go to therapy, girl. Just like Amber. Huh. Isn't that what that sounds like? Isn't that what that sounds like, guys? That she needs to go to therapy too? Or is it just that Amber needs to when she says that exact same thing? Is Alexis good because she's spilling tea on Amber? Because she doesn't need mental help? Obviously she does if she's relying on internet strangers for her validation. Please tell me that that is not the same thing that Amber has done for the past 11 years. Sounds exactly the same. Interesting. If you've enjoyed this very long rant, this 40-something minute rant, leave a like, subscribe, hang out, comment. We can have a conversation. I enjoy diverse opinions. Notice I don't block anybody. I don't remove comments. You can say whatever you want. We can have a discussion. But believe I do have an opinion, and that's what my channel is based on. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.